Hey, how's it going, guys? It is Foxy90 here. Welcome back to a brand new race, and we're here for Subscriber Championship round number 10 for the final race of season number 2. If you haven't enjoyed today's video, feel free to drop it a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here as well. And as you can see from the random grids, we've got ourselves P8, and if you'll remember from the Chinese Grand Prix, we got ourselves P8. So maybe a carbon copy, you know what I'm saying, right? I don't actually have a clue. But here we go then. So we're going to get this race underway. We're going to start the race on the medium compound tyres, just like we did in China. Switch to the softs. Honestly, there's like literally no tyre wear around Brazil. So we can afford to pit early off the mediums and then go on to a set of softs. And it really won't be that much of a problem. So that's what we're going to do. And obviously, even if we get like a quite an early safety car, we could probably still get to the end on the soft tyres. It'll be, obviously they'll be worn out, but we could still make it stick. But here we go then. Here we are for the Brazilian Grand Prix. We've got 5 red lights that are on. And then the 5 red lights go out. So this Brazilian race is underway then. It's been a rubbish start for me because I actually missed the start. I was not concentrating at all. So we drop all the way down to last place then as we head in towards the center S's here as one of the Williams drivers there manages to claim that inside line into turn 2. We've got one of the Ferraris there, so that's Callisto going wide at turn 2. So he's had a little bit of an issue there as we're on board here trying to attack Hazard and Con, who is starting this race on the medium compound tyres is Con. So that's crucial for the race in terms of a direct rival here. But Hazard gets in front of Con then as we go up in towards the middle sector here for the first time in this race now. Just trying to measure out and see how the grid is forming up now. So Con there goes very wide actually in towards that middle sector portion. So I wanted to try and get in front of him here, but unfortunately I just didn't have the mechanical grip to actually do that now. So as we go down the inside here of Con, we actually find a little bit of a gap here and go for it now, and we make the move stick, and we're up into 9th place now. Still one position down from where we started, but at least we're making a little bit of recovery as Con now tries to go down the inside. He sends it there, but I'm more than aware of that send, and it was just too much. So we're able to switch back the Williams driver and stay in front of him now. So we've crossed the start-finish line in just a moment's time here. My teammate Sam now, who's racing in this last race, actually leads the race then. So he's now got the lead and the fastest lap. And now we need to try and just set ourselves in a little bit and get a bit of a mojo going in this race and try and recover pretty much from what was an awful start to this race here as we don't get the best run there through the center S's as Hazard gets a nice run here on Constant Soda, who's got a nice run on Madman just in front now. So they're going to go side by side in towards turn 4. Madman tries to get through towards Con, but he's put a wheel on the grass there and he got so close there to taking out Hazard in the process. But it's a free pass for us, so we'll take that. But that was really close to some contact between Hazard and Madman there. Madman just trying to give Soda a bit of space and trying to do the switchback. He just put his tyre on the grass there, and that really cost him. Lap 3 of this Grand Prix now. Hazard actually managed to overtake Constant Soda in this Grand Prix. That now leaves me to attack Constant Soda. And as you can see, just want to say as well, as we set the fastest final sector there, bit of respect to be shouted out there for Soda, but he's still side by side here. A little bit of wheel barging going in towards the center S's now, and he tries to cut through and go to the inside line, and we're going to have absolutely none of that as we go through there and close that door completely. He's going to try it though down the inside in towards turn 4, but I'm going to cover that one off there. And unlike in the Singapore Grand Prix where we saw a little bit too much aggression there from Soda, that was spot on in terms of aggression. That was proper hard racing at its fairest. So GG's and respect to you for that one. Next up though, onto lap 5 of the Grand Prix here, we've got a little bit of a train going on. It's actually been formed by Sam, funnily enough. He's actually leading this race, but he's got everyone in his known back pocket behind him as we're now onto the back of Hazard here now, who's got DRS here on Wavy Knife, but I was trying to monitor whether it'd be wise enough to go for an attack on Hazard here. We're not quite close enough to go for it, but I'm going to send one nonetheless though, because why the hell not, down the inside. We get horrible run actually through there, but somehow we've actually made it stick. So yeah, credit's where it's due. What a dive bomb, and we're through now ahead of Hazard into 6th place in this race. Wavy Knife just up ahead. Hopefully now we can just try and close. There's a lot of action though going on up ahead as they're all battling for position now. 3 wide, they're going to go almost in towards this middle sector. That doesn't tend to work out too nicely, and it's alright. They just about get away with it there, and Wavy Knife now is in 5th. Lion is 4th, TV 3rd, then we've got Sam has dropped to 2nd. Tominator now leads the Brazilian Grand Prix as we see all of these drivers having an absolute ding-dong of a scrap here. I was tempted to go for a run on Wavy Knife down the inside, but I think he was more the wiser of that, and if I tried it and it didn't work out, it would have just meant that Hazard would have got a run on me there, and it wouldn't have been the best thing. But crucially, lots of drivers here on the medium tyres, just like myself. I feel like they were copying me because this race was recorded. We basically did the Chinese Grand Prix, which is round 9, and then we did the what's it called? We did the Chinese Grand Prix, which was round 9, and then we did this one. So we did them back to back. So that's obviously why, in terms of the medium tyres, everyone using it all of a sudden. Probably because they recognised my geniusness in the last race here. But we're going to press onwards now in this race. See if we can get past Wavy Knife, who's got his ERS light flashing, means he's on less than 10%. We're also on less than 10%, but we had more than him as we head in towards turn 4. And we're going to go around the outside here, and around the outside? Down the inside, should I say. Make the move stick. Lovely overtake there. Up into 4th place. Now, Sam, as you would have seen, has actually come into the pits early on. He was on the soft compound tyres. He's going to swap to the mediums now and go to the ends here. So it's a little bit of a compromised strategy, but because the tyre wear is pretty much next to none, it's not really that terrible. But obviously for Sam, it means that crucially he's going to get out of all this traffic that we now find ourselves in. And that's what I'm thinking now. You can see here that I've scheduled to pit at the end of lap 7. I'd already scheduled that at the race strategy nonetheless. What I wanted to do though is I wanted to do a cheeky little box opposite to my rivals. Box opposite rivals. So that's what we're going to do. If the 2 guys on the mediums stay out, I'm pitting. If they pit, we stay out. They're staying out, I'm pitting. Box opposite your rivals. That's what we're doing then. So we're going to go for undercut on the drivers in front and gain track position. Tominator comes into the pits then, so he is the race leader. Pits, we're going to box out onto a set of the soft tyres now, which will take us to the end of the race. And as you can see, that's exactly what we're going to do. And Tominator there actually has to change his front wing and stop. So crucially for him, he's actually lost a bit of time now as Madman is just in front of us. Sam now here is going to go on through. And of course, crucially, look at that though. Obviously, okay, bear it in mind that Dominator had to change his front wing, but Sam there gets a beautiful undercut on the rest of the field. Crucially though, he is on the medium tyres, and a lot of drivers around him are going to be on the softs. So he's going to struggle quite some bit in this latter stages of the race. But for the time being, he'll be absolutely fine. Speaking of being onto the back of Sam, we're now right onto him here. Lap 8 of the Grand Prix now. Purple middle sector for us. And we're going to try and overtake him now. He's actually got his ERS light flashing, so he's also on less than 10% ERS. We're going to go right around the outside there, get nice and close to the wall, and eventually we get the move done. But Fake TV now is into the pits here. He's actually leaving the pits now, so this is going to give us an indication here of whether the undercut was worth it. Box opposite your rivals. Absolutely spot on. We've got the undercut on him, and we are through now, and we're in a net P2 because I think Lion was next or something like that. But now to lap 10 of the Grand Prix here, Fake TV is catching up to the back of us now as we go in towards turn 4. I actually broke too early into turn 4. That compromises my line a little bit now as Fake TV here actually makes a little bit of contact with the side of my car. That sends me off the circuit, and Fake TV gains the position there. There's a racing incident, there's nothing really to it. We both got really close to each other. He made contact with my car. I just tried to counteract a little bit of snap from getting that, because obviously when I get contact, it's putting me more towards the left, so it would have actually been even worse contact. I took the sensible route and just went off the circuit after I received contact from him. But it is what it is. There's Lion there, trying to go down the inside. Crucially as well, look, we've undercut Lion as well in this race now. As Fake TV makes contact there with Madman going in towards the last sector. Madman just about holds the car in check there, for him, he'll be absolutely fine from that one. He'll lose a couple of positions though, but that was really close there as we now get the DRS here on Fake TV, using up some of our ERS now. We're crucially under that 10% bracket of the ERS battery, so not quite in the best position here as the Fake TV here actually goes and cuts the corner there to get back onto the circuit. I believe he got a little bit of a nudge from Lion. Wasn't really enough to go and corner cut, but you know, it is what it is. You know, you take the corner cut while you can, I suppose, as we go down the inside here in towards turn 4, trying to get back at him, but unfortunately it is not to be in this race so far. TV stays in front. Hansa does lead, but he's now pitting. He went very long actually on his soft tyres, and now he's going in for a set of the mediums, so that is him out of the way. But we're now in a 3-way fight. It is myself versus TV versus Lion, and like I said, you know, Lion, as I said in the last episode, really has picked up a lot of pace in this series. I'm kind of happy for him to be picking up some pace, because it gives us more fun as we now try and attack TV here. Give him a little bit of a love tap there just to say, look, my front wing can break your rear tyre if you're not careful. I'm joking, but I actually didn't get a good run. I wasn't confident to go around the outside into turn 4. It never really works out as Lion though wants to have a go in towards the middle sector. I have to try and cover it off. It's not perfect though. I mean, a full respect to Lion that he wants to get on with it, but from our perspective, you know, if we want to keep up with TP, you know, I'm happily staying in DRS, and there are going to be occasions where I'm going to be able to get the overtake done. I'm not perfectly quick in the middle sector, I will be honest. I'm a little bit lackluster, shall I say, in the middle sector, but I've actually changed my front wing in the stops so that I've got more straight line speed. So as we screw that up, it means that nonetheless, though, you can be quicker than me in the middle sector by a couple of tenths or so. I've got less drag now, so I'm going to be even faster in a straight line, as we'll prove it right here now. Opening up the DRS here, using the rich mix now. Lion's probably using a bit of rich mix himself. I don't think anyone's using ERS though, but crucially, just look at that. We've closed all that gap back up now. We're right behind him again. So, crucial stages of the race here now, as he gets a little bit of a back-end oversteer moment there from the center S's. I've spotted that actually from Fake TV. We're going to go to the outside line again though, but this time around, we're able to get the move done before turn 4, so it means that we can stay in front here. And getting onto the power now, onto the exit here. It actually looks like TV got a much stronger exit than what we did here. Now in towards this middle sector, I have to take the cut. I turned in too early, basically, and TV swoops around the outside and says, thank you very much, I'll have that, and move on, basically. Yeah, pretty clumsy, that one is lying there. Tries to have a little look there. It was a little bit of a half-hearted, oh, do I try it? And I was like, nah. So yeah, that is that out of the way. But yeah, unfortunate for there. We actually got the move done, but crucially, I went into lean fuel mixture as the virtual safety car then does come out then for an incident. So I wonder who's been involved in that one then. It looks like I don't actually have a clue. I'm trying to make predictions, but I have no idea who's caused the VSC there. But we're back onto it now, lap 14 of the Grand Prix, and we're once again storming, or stalking, should I say, the back of the Fake TV now as we blast our way down onto the start-finish straight now, and using the rich mix, not using ERS, because there's no need, because it's quite clear that Fake TV is not using either of them. As we now go in towards turn 1 here, trying to make sure that we get the braking point absolutely spot on, which we do. Back into the lead then once again, trying to get a clean run through the center S's. We're going to use our rich mix and ERS now to avoid the attack back, as I like to call it. It's quite a cool name, man, you know, the attack back. We should use that more often, actually, the attack back. I actually like that. I just came up with that on the spot. But yeah, we got in front of him, and I knew that he was going to get straw. Oh no, there's Lion there. Speaking of trying to get, I was speaking about Fake TV getting a good exit at turn 4, so I had to be careful of that. Unfortunate for Lion there, who's had an issue into turn 4. It looks like he's just lost the rear end there, and I think he spun himself around. That's a real shame, because he was really keeping me and Fake TV very honest indeed. But lap 15 to start lap 16, I had a horrible run out of the last corner, and I decided not to bother fighting Fake TV on the straight, because I would have wasted my ERS, wasted my fuel for nothing, because I got such a bad run through there. But I got a brilliant run through the center S's, to the point where I'm actually going to retake the position back again. But I'm going to open up the DRS, and crucially, you can see right there, someone's using ERS and rich fuel mixture, because I'm not using either of it. As we go down in towards turn 4 now, TV, is he going to hold it around the outside? Has to go and swoop a little bit off circuit there, but we are going to just, well, give the inside line. He actually nudges my wheel there and decides enough is enough, I'm backing out, and I'm not going to go for it there. But this race is getting very, very close now between the pair of us as we go in towards the last corner here. This time around, we get a much cleaner exit, as I'm just doing my best now to save a little bit of fuel here and just try and make sure that I've got enough rich mixture to attack at the end of the race. TV now has DRS here, and this is pretty much what I've now discovered is what online racing, especially when you're doing it, you know, 25% and stuff, is what it's all about. We actually didn't get a brilliant run there through the first 2 corners, and Fake TV actually also got a bad run, but I clipped the grass on the entry in towards turn 1. If I didn't, I would have had a much cleaner switch back here, as we're now going to see if we can have a little look down the sides in towards turn 4 on TV here, and we get that move done. But once again though, he gets a much better run through turn 4, and again, he's actually using some rich mixture or ERS there, so I just decided, oh, do you know what, if you're going to do that, I'm not even going to bother, as we accidentally give him a little bit of a tap there. But yeah, I kind of went a little bit wide, lost the car, a bit of understeer, and then tried to brake it. Obviously gave him a bit of a tap, which would have put him off, but as you would have seen there, just backed off and just basically decided not to gain the advantage, didn't gain any advantage from doing so. I just slowed the car right down to make sure that the gap was around about 3/10 or so, give or take. It happens, it's a little bit of an oopsie, but I didn't gain anything from it. Now, as you can see then, we're going on to the final lap then of the Grand Prix now. So this is where it's going to get crucial. This is where TV now has dumped all of his ERS here, and this is where I'm going to dump mine as well then, to try and get him on the attack now, up in towards the first corner. Purple last sector, go down the inside, in towards turn 1 now, making this move stick, but he holds it down in towards turn 2, and I'm going to just back off and allow him to take the entry into turn 2. Rich Mixture and ERS now fully deployed. He's now on less than 10%. I'm also on less than 10%. Go towards the inside line then, in towards turn 4. Lean Mixture is now enabled to try and make sure we get a better run through here. TB doesn't get the best run through there. We get through in towards turn 4. A little bit of contact made between myself and TB. He goes off the circuit in doing so there, but unfortunately for him, it loses him a little bit of a time there, as we now have to hold it through the rest of the lap though. And now in towards this middle sector here, gap is around about 7/10, and our fastest lap point has been taken away because Lion actually, I think, pitted to nick the fastest lap of the race there, as we now go through towards the end of the middle sector now, and blasting our way down the hill here. Gap is around about 9/10 now, still in DRS range though, still an opportunity. We have to get the final corner right. It wasn't perfect from us though, as we now make our way towards the start finish line. He will be in DRS now as we go in towards the last segment, but as we come now towards the final section of the circuit, we're now going to go across the line here to win the Brazilian Grand Prix in close fashion. Really, really good race overall. Lots of scrapping, lots of wheel-to-wheel action. What more can you ask for? And we cross the line then to take first place. Now, I can confirm that the final lap incident, I call it incident in brackets, between myself and the fake TB, basically in towards turn 4, obviously, I got a better run through turn 4, and actually looking at momentum, I was actually ahead before we made our little wheel-to-wheel contact. I took the curb basically to give him as much space as possible high on the inside, but remember what Madman did. You lose the rear end on that curb. I lost it and tried to counter-correct it, and I did so, but TB actually decided not to open up the steering, and it was a racing incident pretty much. I sent it over to Tominator, who was really kind enough to be a race steward to help with the incident. He called it a racing incident, yeah, he basically gave, you know, for and against from my perspective, and he also gave reasons for and against from Fake TB's perspective, because luckily we had both. So he found reasons why what I did on the final lap was silly, but he also found sympathy for what happened in the first place. He also found reasons why Fake TB was at fault for the last incident versus also why he wasn't at fault. You know what I mean? It was 50-50 on both sides. That's what he called it. So pretty much the race result stands. But here it is then. Here is what Subchamp looks like after season number 2. As you can see then, we have taken the championship. We actually only finished off the podium once throughout the entirety of the season, and that was at Mexico. Pretty much one of my strongest online series ever, I have to say. DHL F1 Guy finishes second in the championship on 155 points. I just want to say a massive shout out to yourself, DHL F1 Guy. Of course, he was our championship rival for the whole of this season, but was unable to make it for the final 2 races, meaning that he was missing out on the championship. Sam just about beats Hazard to 3rd in the championship on countback versus the fact that Hazard had a 2nd place and Sam actually won a Grand Prix. Then it is Callisto who finishes 5th on 67 points, Fake TB on 65 points in the end. Wavy Knife 7th with 52 points, and then on 49 points is Lion. Same with Tominator, actually also on 49 points. 45 points for Con, and then 26 points for Bacon Boys, and 24 points for Azzy. I think I'm reading these right, I hope I am. 22 points for Soda. Madman finishes with 13 points. 4 points then for Bell, 2 for Wingman, and then 1 for Schumacher. And then in terms of the Constructors' Championship, McLaren win it by 130 points. It's a little bit over-exaggerated because obviously DHL F1 Guy couldn't turn up for the final 2 races, and Wingman, I don't think really showed up much at all, to be honest. Of course, we had, you know, I managed to get 26 points in China to extend the lead, and then in the last race it was 35 points, so a little bit out of reach there. Williams finished 3rd in the championship on 126 points, ahead of Ferrari on 89 points, with Racing Point on 87. Red Bull finished on 76 points, with Haas just a point behind on 75 points. And then it's Mercedes on 51 points, Renault on 37, and then Alfa Romeo on 13 points. But guys, that is it for Subscriber Championship Season number 2. To everybody that raced and raced clearly and fairly and was respectful, I want to say a massive thank you to you for taking the time to come and race. I really enjoyed it. I don't think I'll be able to have the time to do it in F1 2021, but you never know. To those of you that raced in Subchamp and were dicks, fuck all of you. Yeah, I just wanted to say, I don't know why. I really appreciate it. Had a lot of fun, and hopefully we do some more online stuff like this in the future. But for now, I'm out. So take care all. Peace.